welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Bev. Today we're going to discuss my 5th quarter of nursing school. For those of you who don't know and that are new to my channel, I basically give a recap of my quarter. I'm currently in the state of Florida and I'm in an LPN to RN bridge nursing program. Technically, my school has 6 quarters. Each quarter is 12 weeks, which is 3 months. So it's an 18-month program. But in my first quarter, I ended up failing a lab class. So it gave me 7 quarters. So I currently have completed my 5th quarter. So if you would like to hear about my quarter, continue to watch. But before I jump into it, I want to say if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you're an oldie but goodie, thank you so much for rocking with me. We've reached our 1-year mark since my first video. I'm at 2,000 subscribers and I just want to say thank you all. I love you guys. All right. So let's just jump right into it. So this quarter I took 3 classes. I took microbiology, maternal health, which we call mom baby / pediatrics because we covered the pregnant woman, the infant, and pediatrics in this quarter. And then my 3rd class was mental health. For mom baby and for mental health, I also had clinicals. So I had 2 extra clinicals. I did 2 mom baby or maternity OB type of clinicals, and then we did 2 pediatric clinicals, and then I had 4 mental health clinicals. I ended up passing all 3 classes, thank God, with 80-something%, but because this nursing school and they extra AF, those 80s didn't equal out to be B's. I think one of them, which was my mental health, ended up being a B-, but because I got like an 81 or 82 in my microbiology and my mom baby, that gave me C's. Boo-hoo. So I'll just start off with so I guess let me just give you a little bit of a background of how the classes work. I'm considered a hybrid student because I'm already an LPN. So I take my theory on the computer online. They have modules or lectures or pre-recorded lectures or however you want to put it, and I do a discussion post. I have to do 3 discussion posts a week. The first one has to be posted within the first 3 days, and then I have to respond to 2 or more classmates within the remainder of the 4 days. And that's considered my attendance and my participation in class. And then we have to do 4 exams, and that is what makes up your grade, your 4 exams. The discussion posts do not count towards your grade. They count for attendance, and you have to have 3 participating days of class that substitute the 3 days you will be on campus. And so, your 3 exams, exam 1, 2 is considered your midterm, and then 3 and 4 is considered your final. So you have 4 exams, and that make up your grade. And also we had supplemental things such as pass points that we have to do, or prep you, or whatever you want to call it. It's like we do tests like NCLEX type questions, which is supplemental. We have to do those all throughout the quarter. If you don't do it, you fail the class. Even if you pass the class and you don't do those stupid behind prep yous, which is a whole nother story, you'll fail. So let me just go ahead and tell you that story real quick. Y'all know I like to ramble, but it's so much stuff that happened in 12 weeks, and I don't know how to tell you guys in an organized manner, so I'm gonna need you to keep up with your girl. But anyways, so with the prep U, each class has prep U's. The mom baby and the mental health had prep U assignments, and they give you 10 weeks to complete those assignments. So it was like week 10, but you have until the last day. So week 10 starts on Monday and it ends on Sunday. And I didn't do my prep U's, even though I had 10 weeks to do it. I waited until week 10 to complete mine, but sis closed the prep U up at like Friday when I still had Saturday, Sunday, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, I am not about to fail this quarter because I didn't do these stupid questions. So I'm like emailing this lady. I called this lady at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, like my instructor, begging her to open it back up, and she basically was like, oh, you're right, I'm sorry, I had the dates like, because I guess they could program what day they want to close it where you can't log in. So she was like, oh, I had the wrong date. I meant to put it for Sunday. So she opened it back up so that I can complete it. But I was so freaked out. I was like, fuck, this is what I get for procrastinating. Procrastination is going to be the death of me. Like, y'all don't understand. I was freaking out. But anyways, so I got the prep you out the way. All right. Back to the real story. All right, so I'm just going to give you a breakdown of the 3 classes. Microbiology, which is considered a prereq for the nursing program, but the way it's integrated in, they break up the prereqs so that you can still take nursing classes. So I took my microbiology. That is a basic class. I don't need to tell you anything about it. I hate science. I struggled throughout the whole thing, but with the grace of God, I passed it. So I'm not going to give any more energy towards that class. My second class I want to discuss is Mom Baby, which was my hardest class. It was a lot of comprehension, and I do not want to be a labor and delivery nurse. I have no interest in it. I salute you women who are labor and delivery nurses. I'm really good at reading like the D cells and A cells, which are decelerations and accelerations, the fetal heart tone. I'm all right with that type of stuff, but I don't want to be a mom baby nurse. So a little bit about the clinicals. The nurse at the clinical site was mean as hell. She was like, oh great, I have a student, and rolled her eyes when my instructor told her that I was going to be her student. And one of the other nurses was like, well, last week the student we had was like such a lazy wad. They just came in and sat down and didn't want to do anything. I'm like, girl, but you can't treat all the students the same. Like, first of all, I'm a nurse already. I don't know if you had another nurse, but you know, I'm already a nurse. So I understand that you have work to do, and I understand that I'm a student. So when I come, I want to actually learn. But sis was not trying, like anytime, like she wasn't one of those people that like to fill you up with information. If I didn't ask a question, sis did not address me. So I ended up tagging along with a woman she was training, another nurse that she was training. And come to find out that the nurse that she was training was actually a nurse practitioner who worked as an OB, like she was a midwife. Not a nurse practitioner, she's a midwife, but she came back to the floors because now that she raised her family and her kids, she wanted to do travel nursing. She didn't want to be a midwife anymore. So she's going to be a labor and delivery travel nurse, but because she had been practicing as a midwife for like 30 years, they didn't count that as experience. They wanted her to have recent experience. So I actually ended up getting the better end of the deal because I ended up being with a woman who had so much knowledge and was able to like school me and teach me things. So the things that I read in my book and that we took exams on, I actually got to see it. So I had a patient who was in labor, obviously, because I'm on the labor unit. I mean, like the birthing unit or whatever you want to call it. So I stuck with her. I chose to see someone who had C-sections because I'm a mom of 3. I pushed 3 kids out vaginally. I don't need to see another vaginal birth. I saw it 3 times in real life. Plus, when I was in LPN school and we did our OB clinical rotation, I saw nothing but vaginal births. Like I was just like in and out of those rooms, like in and out of the rooms with vaginal births. I guess I could do a story time because one of the stories is really funny. But anyways, so I chose to see C-sections. I'm squeamish. Like I could take pee, I could take poop, I could take blood, but just like seeing them cut bellies open and pulling and tugging, that crap is disgusting to me. But I wanted to face my fears because you have to be uncomfortable to grow, is what I told myself. So while I was in one day, I saw so many things. I saw 3 different types of C-sections. I saw a C-section where it was completely normal, no complications, nothing. The baby was healthy, the mom was healthy, everybody was fine. Then I saw some other ones, like it was like it was a perfect day. Like I saw really bad down to really basic. So then the medium one, like the medium C-section, was the mom was completely fine, but the baby was sick. So we got to see that, and that was kind of heartbreaking because we go through so much when we're pregnant. And for you to kind of already know that the child that you're carrying is not doing so well, as a mom, you like pray and you hope that the doctors are not talking or don't know what the hell they're talking about, that God is going to bless you, and by the time you have your baby is fine. And that wasn't the case. Like, they had a specialty doctor come in, like a pediatric surgeon, and he said that was one of the worst cases he's seen in his whole time of practicing. And he was an old guy, so I'm pretty sure he practiced a lot of years. Like, I'm being really vague because even though I'm a small YouTube channel right now with my 2,000 subscribers, because I love y'all, I know that y'all are going to bring me more subscribers and I'm going to blow up. And I don't want people to find my channel and be like, this girl is telling all my business and try to sue me. So I'm being really vague, but I hope y'all can follow with me. And then third, which is to me the worst of the three, was a woman with placenta praevia. And she had a placenta praevia because she's had previous C-sections. And anytime you have a C-section, just standard, no one special or information, you run the risk of having placenta praevia and a risk for hemorrhaging. Because at the end of the day, you're having surgery, regardless of what the reason of your surgery, whether it be elective or medically necessary, you're having a surgery. So you run certain type of risks. And she ended up having a total hysterectomy because that was the only way they were able to stop the hemorrhage. It was terrible. Like a 15-minute C-section, because C-sections are relatively short. They're like 15, 30 minutes long. Turned into an hour and a half, an hour, 45-minute surgery. It went from one doctor and a midwife to 3 doctors. So like it was, oh my gosh, like blood was like shooting. I was like, and then I was like, I want to look at the baby, but I want to look at the mom. I want to look at the baby, I want to look at the mom. It was just like, I felt like I was in a movie, y'all. So even though I had a crappy nurse who was mean, I was able to still get a lot of knowledge from my midwife. I was able to see how like different things go far as physically with the actual surgery to the mental part of it. Like this woman who went in to have like a regular C-section and ended up having a hysterectomy and can't have kids anymore, to a mom whose baby is in ICU and she is here and you can't see your kid. It was draining, y'all. Like I was like, oh my gosh. Whew. But I had fun. So then for my pediatric clinical rotations, I went to like a pediatric skilled nursing facility. It's like like how we have nursing homes for older people, it's like that for babies. And it was so sad because I have kids and it's like, oh my gosh, like I cannot take my kids for granted because they are full of life and good health and they bring me such joy. And these families have to leave their kids at these facilities. And I know they do it because some people can't give their kids the care that they require, because some of these kids are born with genetic abnormalities that like they can't control. And it's so sad. But at the same time, the kids were like so smart. Like you kind of forget that they're sick because they have so much life and so much personality and so much spunk. And all they wanted to do is be loved on. Like I sat up there and I held like 100 babies. Like they weren't even babies, even though they would be like 11 years old, the size of a 4-year-old. Like that's the kind of sick they were. But I was just happy and I was just so grateful that I was blessed to be there and add light to their life, because that's all I did. I just went in, I loved on me some babies, I bathed them, I changed them as if I do my kids. So yeah, that's that. So that's it for my mom baby review. Hard class, fun clinicals, educational clinicals. Now on to my mental health. Mental health was interesting. My take on mental health was a lot of textbook cases. And for me, the schizophrenias, the bipolars, the people with personality disorders, I feel like you can't be a registered nurse and really know how to deal with those. You need real in-depth training to know how to deal with those type of people. I did not ever volunteer to go to the veterans unit because I don't want to deal with PTSD. And I did not volunteer to go to the crisis unit. I don't want to deal with Baker Acts. Working in the ER, I get enough of Baker Acts for my lifetime. I volunteered to go to the drug and alcohol abuse type of floors. For me, that is what works best for me because I can study it and I can know how to apply it. And it was, when I interviewed my people, I could tell, like, this person is a faking, this is that. My whole thing with the personality disorders, I don't know if the person is trying to play me because they're so manipulative or if they're genuinely having these issues. So I chose to stay away from them. For me. But the drug and alcohol abuse. But the facility that we went to was an inpatient mental health hospital. They dealt with crisis where people were Baker acted or on the verge of committing suicide. And then they had, like I said, the veterans unit where it was for veterans. Like, they could go there for I don't know how many days. It was like you go there anywhere from 3 days to 45 days. And I think the people that I mostly dealt with, which were the drug and alcohol abusers, they were on like a detox, and it was for 25 days or 28 days. And some of them actually had the full 40-some days where they would detox. But the issue that I think a lot of people run into is you go to these places because you're in a crisis. Life is just coming down on you and you can't take it, or you're abusing and you have to get put into these places. And yes, these people genuinely want to get better. They want to get their psychosis under control. They want to get their habits under control. They want to stop craving for these drugs or using the alcohol, drinking the alcohol. But when you leave the facility, all your life stressors come back. So I think it's real important, not only for people that's in these type of facilities, but for us to really learn how to cope, you know, because life is going to come with stress. Whichever way you want to look at it, it's going to come with stress. And we have to know how to deal with those type of things and know how to cut people off, because your mental wellness is paramount to having a beautiful life. So, with that being said, that's it for mental health for me. Mental health was good to me. Not as good. I mean, mom, baby was not as good to me. I really enjoyed this quarter. The next quarter I am gearing up for, like, I'm taking these 10 days to really get my mind ready because I'm in the last stretch. I can see like the end of the tunnel. When March come around, it'll be my March. It won't be like next year March. It'll be my March to finish school. So I'm gonna really buckle down. I'm gonna not party, I think. I have one wedding I have to do. I'm going to be participating in the Nurse Link Expo next month in October. And then the wedding I'm in is in November. I have my grandma's 80th birthday party in October. And then we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, and my baby turns 2 in October. So the next 3 months is going to be hella busy for me. So I'm going to try to post as much as I can because I love y'all and y'all been rocking with me. But if I don't post as much, this is why. Because I have to keep my head in these books because I'm not failing this next quarter. Because a lot of girls were on Facebook in my school's like little Facebook group talking about how they felt the quarter that I'm gonna go into, and it was kind of heartbreaking. But I got the mentality that, baby, I'm not coming to lose. Like, I'm coming to win. But anyways, thank you all for watching my video. I hope you liked it, and thank you so much for rocking with me on my journey from LPN to RN. I will see you guys next time. Bye.